Blog Talk Radio.
What time is it?
WH Radio.
Welcome back to Wrestlingheads Radio. It's me, Oscar. I got Tom with me. What's going on, Tom?
What's going on, Oscar? How you doing over there?
Not much, man. Just watched WWE NXT, but you know what, man? We always talk about WWE and Ring of Honor and PWG. I think we should talk about another promotions that, which I say is, you know, it's pretty interesting, and I got a feeling we're gonna be talking about this every week. But we got a special guest with us tonight, and he's part of that promotion what I'm talking about, named Lucha Underground. He goes by Cisco, and well, most of you guys mostly know him in around PWG or the South Cal area as Little Cholo. What's going on, man?
What up, guys? What's going on?
Man, nothing much, man. Just enjoying a great Thursday night, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to have you on, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Before we go on the show, I just want to let our listeners know, if any of you guys have questions for Little Cholo, you always can call us up at 760-454-1107, or you can tweet us at Wrestlingheads at any time. So, let's just start let's get the show rolling, you can say. All right. Cholo, my first question I want to ask you, so how it all started? Like, where did you got trained, and how you got into business?
Pretty much went down like this. It was in '96. Ran into a friend of mine from junior high, and he said, I saw him wearing a wrestling shirt one day, and he was like, I was like, you like wrestling? He's like, yeah. And I was like, so do I. And he goes, my dad's a wrestler. And I was like, yeah, right, get the fuck out of here. Little known later fact that his dad really was a wrestler, and his name is Martin Marin. He's the owner of WPW. And I went to a show like a week after that, and it ended up being my friend's dad's show, and he introduced me to his father, and like he goes, "Do you want to start training?" And I was like, "Sure," and I never left since.
That's cool. It's funny to you were a fan back in '96, and so who do you looked up to when you were a fan?
You know what? It's kind of weird because I was always used to watching, I guess you could say American style WWF back in the day. I didn't really get caught up in Lucha Libre until around '94. When I saw Rey Mysterio, he was the first masked guy that I ever seen, and after seeing him, it just got me hooked. I was like, man, this guy's small. I'm small. I want to try to do what he can do. So if he can do it, then I could too.
Yeah. Man, I go way back. I can remember I started watching it when they made a big thing when Hulk, like after WrestleMania 3 and Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant, when they made a big thing like Hulk Hogan did the impossible. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
That's basically when I started. And around the mid '90s, I was like, man, there's more Latinos coming. You got Rey Mysterio, like ECW days. You got Rey Mysterio, that's pretty much. ECW got me into Lucha Libre, then I started watching Triple A and stuff. All right, cool, you know. And
that's after seeing them there too. That got me hooked on watching Triple A and CMLL like that too. Big influence in my career. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's basically how I kind of pretty much got into Lucha because of ECW, and that's weird, but that's how it is. And then you have all these little channels over here, here in California, there's a station called, there's just two stations called Univision and Telemundo. That's why I started watching all these Lucha Libre stuff on regular TV. So as well as back in the day. Tom, you got a question for him?
Yeah. Early off in your career, you said you started, pretty early. Obviously, a lot of people, including myself, know you from the early PWG days when they were just starting out. Talk about how you first got started in PWG.
I guess it was kind of luck. I guess I was cool with the promoter, Super Dragon, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of his promotion. I said, sure, why not? I thought going into it, it was just going to be like one of, another West Coast company or whatever, but, it turned out to be like the number one company on the West Coast up until now.
Yeah, and just talk about some of your early PWG days, because there was just, I think not a lot of people go back. A lot of people look at PWG now and they just focus on now, but there was a lot of good stuff going on back in really early PWG days.
Yeah, it was fun. The talent there was great. They had, Joey Ryan, Scott Lost, Super Dragon was still active, myself, B-Boy, Super Bad, Los Luchas. Like, they had some really, really, really good talent back in the day, and it was fun. Doing those shows were really cool. I was only on a few of them at the very beginning. I took a little break, and then I came back at All-Star Weekend 5, and then only did one more shot after that, and that was about it. It was definitely fun. A lot of fans asking me, why don't I go back, and I guess they're kind of busy with what they're doing now, but, I'm always down to head back there.
Yeah, I think I was actually going to ask that. You kind of answered my next question is, you haven't been back in over 7 years. Do you think that PWG is kind of disconnecting from the, California area? They're just bringing in indie talent instead of focusing on the California talent that they have?
Yeah, in a way, and, this is just my opinion, yeah, in a way, they kind of forgot, they were a West Coast promotion, but then again, the promotion can do whatever they want. There's a lot of talent here in California. Sometimes I think they lack, in the cards of the West Coast talent, but, it's up to them. If I had the opportunity to go back, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Definitely. And I would recommend, I recommend a lot of people because they just focus on PWG today. I say go back and look at early PWG days, crazy six-man tag and tag matches they had, even their singles matches. I mean, Excalibur wasn't the greatest commentator back then. He was kind of just messing around, but, the matches there were just, I think they're still tremendous and they can still hold up till today.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're definitely worth watching, that's for sure.
Without a doubt, man. All right, Oscar, I'll pass it back to you now.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually conversating with Cholo outside the Lucha Underground arena about PWG and his time there the other day. And my question I want to ask you that relates to PWG. I know you just said you would be down to return to PWG, but what do you think it would take for yourself, or maybe PWG, or the head? You could say the powers that be in PWG to bring you back.
No, I don't know. I guess there might have to be a buzz about me because that's pretty much how a lot of guys getting in. Nowadays they rely a lot on the internet and stuff like that. If they you got a buzz going behind you, they'll want to take a look at you or they give you a chance. So, like I said, there's been a lot of fans up in the last couple of months, even in the last year. They would keep telling me, "Oh, we want to see you back in PWG. We want to see you against, guys that they're bringing in now." And hey, I would love to be there. I'd love to wrestle the talent they have. I guess sometimes you got to let the people talk. Ask for it or not.
Yeah. This is what I always say with fans. Like, they want to see, like, example, PP Ray and PWG or whatever. I just say, you know what, just bug the shit out of their Twitter page and say, hey, we want this guy, that guy, or this team. You know, I mean, when they do that, they'll listen, and you know, you might get what you want. You know, I mean, I remember guys wanted ROH's own Bobby Fish, and I was saying the line, hey, just bug him. And now he's doing PWG shows. So if guys are saying, oh, we want Cholo back in PWG, why not bug the shit on their Twitter page and say, hey, we want Cholo back, and he might bring you back in the next show. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, if the fans really want it, they really want to see it, and, you know, let the voices be heard.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody that's listening, if you want Cholo back in PWG, just bug their shit on Twitter account, and maybe we'll be in the next show. Just like when we had PP Ray out here, we did the same thing, and bam! All of a sudden, like a week later, PP Ray's in PWG. All right, yeah. All right. I'm gonna pass it back to you, Tom.
Yeah, and the next question I have to do, it kind of has to do with PWG, but kind of California wrestlers in general. A lot of the early PWG guys aren't wrestling anymore. You know, they kind of disconnected away from wrestling. And, you know, you're still out there, you're still going at it. What kind of kept you going and kept you involved in wrestling?
You know, honestly, it was pretty much either wrestling or doing shit that I really didn't want to do on the streets, you know. And I guess I can say wrestling kind of saved my life. You know, I don't want to be like the cliche, oh, he was either doing gangs or whatever, or, you know, wrestling saved my life. But, you know, in all honesty, it did save my life. I'm kind of happy that I chose this road because I've been able to do things that I never thought in my life I would be able to do, such as Lucha Underground, you know. It's a huge blessing. And, yeah, you know, I guess if you really want it, you're going to stick through it no matter what. A lot of the guys had, you know, falling outs with other guys, or, you know, they just got over it. They got tired of the drama and stuff like that. You know, if you really want it, you're gonna stick by it no matter what.
Oh man, without a doubt, that's good to hear though from you. You know, you definitely want to have people in wrestling that are happy doing what they're doing, and, you know, keeping away from the negative stuff. And, you know, there's just countless stories of different wrestlers who said that, you know, wrestling has helped them in, you know, in different aspects. So it's definitely good to hear that from you.
Yeah, man. You know, it doesn't matter if it was, you know, it helped you steer away from drugs or from alcohol or from problems at home or whatever. You know, wrestling in a way is kind of a savior, and I'm blessed to be a part of it still to this day.
Awesome, man. Well, you're still doing great things, and I'm going to pass it back to Oscar because I know he probably wants to start talking about Lucha Underground since you mentioned it.
All right, yeah. Before I ask him about Lucha Underground, I already got a question from Twitter. It's from @CandyBandit666. Basically, he has two questions for you. One is who have been some of your favorite opponents you've been wrestled with, and why?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I've had too many over the years. Favorite opponents. I guess I have to say, you know, B-Boy, definitely, you know, top of the list.
Yeah.
You know, my matches with him are, I can sum it up in one word, like crazy. You know, it's just, we know each other's limits, and we always push each other's buttons. So, like, when we get in the ring together, it's, you know, we know it's on. And it was because of him, or, you know, it was because of being in a match with him. You know, I earned my first standing ovation in a match ever at the old AWS arena, Frankenstein's. And, you know, it's just, when I'm in the ring with him, it's go time. So he's definitely one of my all-time favorites. Another guy that is extremely underrated, doesn't get talked to a lot about. His name is El Infernal. He's a luchador here in Orange County. Wrestled locally in LA and stuff like that. And I had really, really good matches with him. That guy can go, and I'm talking about he can wrestle. He knows how to mat wrestle. He can do high flying. He can do whatever. He just hadn't had the shot to branch out and, get known. But he's definitely up there as well. And along with a lot of countless other guys, Mariachi Loco, Scott Lost, Joey Ryan, the list goes on and on. SoCal Crazy, it just keeps going.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to B-Boy if he's listening, because I know he's sorry about your Chargers, bro, if you're listening, man. But I'm yeah, I get this. I saw your match with B-Boy back in March at that AWS show. With the anniversary show, you guys had that title match, the one he beat you in. I enjoyed that match. Yeah. That was a good match.
It was cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the second question. Who would you love to work with? I'm assuming that he's basically saying that whoever you haven't got a chance to work with, who you would love to work with.
Oh man, that list can go on for days too. There's so many guys that I haven't got a chance to work with. I would definitely like to wrestle one-on-one with Ricochet, without a doubt. Maybe Rich Swann. Yeah. Definitely want to wrestle against the Young Bucks again. Luchador-wise, I would really want to be in the ring with Ultimo Guerrero. I'd really like to have a one-on-one with him.
All right.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of guys. That I want to have a chance with. Who knows if it'll ever happen, but hopefully it will someday.
Yeah, definitely. See the names you just list. Candy Bennett, you're listening, man. He just named some PWG name right there. If you like to see him go against these guys, you should hit up PWG's Twitter account and bug the shit. I'm saying you want Cholo back, and he could finally get the opportunity to wrestle Ricochet and Rich Swann at PWG. All right,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So Candy Bennett, just go bug PWG right now. My next question I was going to ask you is about Lucha Underground. I mean, when I first heard about it, I actually thought it was just the AAA talent was just, it's going to be shown in English, put it that way. I just thought it's going to show only AAA talent, because I was hearing the same rumor about New Japan. They're going to go English too, so I was thinking, okay, AAA too. But then I started hearing you were going to be on it, B-Boy, John Morrison. I was like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden I hear a taping's going on here in LA, and then I was like, and it's free too, and all of a sudden, bam, it just blew my mind, and I start coming, and it seems like every show it gets better and better, and I explained to the listeners in the show, you guys gotta check it out when it debuts on Wednesday. So it's not a question, but I just want to see if you can give out the whole info to our listeners about Lucha Underground, which is going to premiere next week.
Well, first of all, Lucha Underground is going to change the face of wrestling as you know it. It's probably, without a doubt, going to be one of the top companies in the U.S. And I hope I hope the world gets to see it. It debuts next Wednesday, October 29th. On the El Rey Network, and I believe it's actually going to be showing on, I think it's Unimas here in LA. Check your local listings for that. I don't know what channels they're on, but it's going to be shown on there. I believe November 1st. This Lucha Underground, man, it's just the talent and the matchups and the whole company is just unbelievable. It's definitely a blessing for me to be a part of it, and I can't wait for the world to see it. They're going to be left in shock.
Yeah. That's what I've basically been saying the same thing about these to our listeners. It's a great product, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, you B-Boy, Sexy Star, Phoenix, all you guys are doing a good job out there, and I just can't wait for the whole world to see what I saw over there in the taping. So, and I'm going to be watching it even though I go into tapings, because I didn't see no backstage stuff, so who knows what happens back there. So I'm going to be watching because of that. And it was a good product to watch. And I just hope you guys, or I could say pretty much Lucha Underground, hope they become one of the top companies in pro wrestling, and hopefully you guys do that. And just for our listeners know, it's not going on the same time as TNA, so before you watch TNA, watch Lucha Underground and get ready for a ride. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, my next question is actually kind of a little bit of a comparison. I know you did some work back in the day for Wrestling Society X, and I know back then people were kind of hyping it up and saying that it's an alternative to what's going on, and obviously those plans fell through, but now you have Lucha Underground, and you see some comparisons in the way that they, run things. What would you say is a big difference in the way the Wrestling Society X was and what Lucha Underground is going to be?
Well, there's been a lot of comparisons on what people speculate on what Lucha Underground is supposed to be or what's going to be. But, you can't really compare anything because the world hasn't seen Lucha Underground yet. So you don't know if it's the same thing as WSX. WSX was cool, man, It was wild, it was crazy. Talent there was dope. But when you guys see Lucha Underground next week, it's not your average wrestling show, I don't want to give too much away about it because I really want the world just to see it. But, it's definitely when you see it, the way it was taped and everything like that, it's not your average wrestling show. And it's something that, not even the average wrestling fan or watcher is going to be like, it's just some, regular wrestling TV show. My wife, who doesn't really like wrestling that much, saw the teaser of it, and she was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. That caught her eye, instantly. And I didn't even tell her to watch the teaser. She just walking by, and she saw me watching it, and she caught it. And I think that's going to be everybody's reaction. They're going to look at it and be like, wow, this is something different. It's something entertaining. And, you can't really compare WSX to Lucha Underground because the people haven't seen it yet. But I guarantee this, the people are going to want more. They're going to be left wanting more every single week.
Yeah, without it, I know I'm getting pretty excited for it, and I don't know anything about it. Oscar over here hasn't told me much about it, aside from a little few things, but he's just been telling me to keep watching it. Gotta ask you, do you think Lucha Underground's main thing that they have going for them is that they're this kind of secretive company, that they're keeping so many things kind of under wraps to kind of make you say, kind of spread the word, word of mouth going around, like, oh, man, did you hear about that Lucha Underground? Man, I got to check it out when it comes out.
Yeah, it's one thing that, it hasn't even come out yet, and the wrestling world's buzzing about it, oh, what do you think about this, or how do you think it's going to turn out, and this and that, and, that's one thing that the wrestling world's buzzing about it, but you also got Hollywood buzzing about it as well. And, it was just recently in the Men's Article magazine, and I don't know, I think TMZ covered it, and it's just there's a buzz about the show, and the show hasn't even aired yet, so that's something good. And like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You might have your own opinion, at the end of the first show, but if I were you guys, I would stick through and watch the whole season, and then voice yourself about it.
Yeah, that's exactly what Oscar told me. He said, don't just watch one episode and judge off of that. He says, keep watching, stay interested in it, because he told me it was insane. And, I'll take Oscar's word.
It's just like I said, it's totally different. The matchups there that were put there are totally different than you would see on a regular, on a regular wrestling show. You wouldn't see that anywhere else except for Lucha Underground. So, watch the first show. Hope you enjoy it. Watch the second show, and just keep on watching through, because it's definitely going to get better and better each week.
Definitely. All right, Oscar, I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, you see, Cholo, I don't give out any spoilers. I don't even like to read spoilers for SmackDown, so that's how I am.
Well, that's good, man. You were there. You saw what happened. You saw the matches. Yeah. You know, if you could describe it in one word, what would it be?
Amazing. That's all I can say. It's amazing. And freaking, you could put a 5. What's it called, symbols after that. It was amazing, bro. Just telling you guys, gotta watch this. I mean, I'm telling you right now, the last tapings I went was better, or it's the best show I've been to. You can say the best tapings out of all of them. So, and I've been going at least maybe 4 or 5 tapings. So, you know, that says something. So, you guys are doing a good job. Like I said, you know, it's been a while since I've seen consistency in wrestling. Okay, this Raw was better than last week's Raw, or this TNA show was better than last week's TNA show. You know, it's been a while since I've seen consistency, so it's going to be great. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. And I told Tom, hey, check it out. Trust me, you know, trust me.
You know, with the talents that are there, you know, John Morrison, Prince Puma, you know, the guys from AAA, Blue Demon, Phoenix, Pentagon, all those guys, and then with the mixture of, you know, the stars that are here, it's just, you know, it's something, you know, something new, something fresh. So I hope everybody enjoys it.
Another thing what I like is that, you know, it's a chance for guys like Pentagon, Phoenix, Blue Demon, getting more exposure in the United States, you know, because it's kind of sad to say, it's like most stations in the United States can't really watch AAA wrestling or CML, you know. So it's great to, you know, to get those guys to get more exposure in the United States with Lucha Underground, you know. So and show us more of their talents. Like another example, I brought my homie to one of their tapings. He's African American, and he was not familiar with AAA and all that. And then when he saw this, he was he was happy to see this. You know, he was happy. He had a great time, and he was like, man, after coming out of PWG show, I'm watching this. He had a great weekend. So he had a great weekend. And you guys made his weekend great. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. That's really good. I'm glad, and I hope he continues to watch what he, you know, with the stuff that he didn't see before. It's definitely, you know, this whole season is something worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. My next question, I want to ask you about Lucha Underground. I know it's pretty much too early to ask you about this, but where do you like to see Lucha Underground moving forward? Would you like to see them do maybe a possible non-televised event show, or doing shows outside of the Lucha Underground arena, or maybe even possible outside of California arena down the road?
Well, I think that would be on all the wrestlers' mind, you know, and you know, after the fans see it next week, I'm pretty sure they're going to want to bring it to wherever they're watching it. Especially with the talent on the roster, like I said. Yeah, I'd like to see it go on the road, you know, do shows outside of LA, you know, in other states or whatever. My main goal is just to have the world watch it. They need an alternative to WWE and TNA and stuff like that. So this is going to fit perfectly in their homes to watch. And it's not, you know, just for you know, the older guys or the older girls. You know, this is a family show, so I hope everybody checks it out. Everybody's gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when TNA first started. I believe it started in the Tennessee area. Then he went to Florida, and I'm all like, when the fuck am I gonna see a damn TNA show live? And then it took me all the way to 2009 to finally get to watch a TNA show in person. So, I mean, hopefully, if you guys do succeed, go up to maybe TNA level, then hopefully you guys get in a roast and have all these guys, you know, get willing to check you guys out in person, you know, and not have to wait 7 years to finally check out a TNA show. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the world see, and hope you guys get to succeed really fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to. The fans will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I'm telling you right now, it was great. So, Tom, cancel Comcast and get Time Warner DirecTV. Trust me, it's good shit. Yeah.
I'm going to have to, man. Either that or I'm just going to blow up Comcast's phone and tell them to get that El Rey network on.
There you go. Either or.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, my next question, still pertaining to Lucha Underground. Do you think this is the perfect opportunity to kind of expose the Lucha style and a lot of the, Mexican wrestlers to the United States audience? Because I know people are aware of AAA and CMLL, but for people who might not even know it exists, now that it's going to be on TV, do you think this is just the perfect opportunity to kind of get just exposure out to the United States?
It's actually, I believe it's the perfect opportunity because there's been a lot of companies that have tried and have failed, to show quote-unquote Lucha Libre. And, Lucha Underground is definitely showing what Lucha Libre is all about. They talk about the stories about how the mask came about and, the Aztecs fighting it out with masks on and stuff like that. So if you don't know what Lucha Libre is about, check out the show and you will be informed from the very beginning until now.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with, AAA and CMLL, and watching a lot of the old school Lucha Libre is something I like to do from time to time. Do you think that maybe there's going to be a disconnect maybe with a younger audience? Because I would say maybe they want to just see Rey Mysterio, and then if they don't see Rey Mysterio, then they're kind of just already disconnected from it because they're used to that WWE style? Or do you think this is kind of perfect in a way to kind of show the younger kids that, look, there's, all these Lucha Libre guys going out there, and they're not Rey Mysterio, but they could still do amazing things?
Yeah, you know what? Everybody has their own era of wrestling and stuff like that. Even if Rey Mysterio's not on the show or whatever, I think this is going to give the chance to to the world to see that there's not Rey Mysterio is not the only luchador, or just because you wear a mask, you're a luchador. There's plenty of guys that out there, especially the guys that are coming in from AAA, like I said, Phoenix, Blue Demon, Pentagon, Aerostar, Superfly, all those guys are the same caliber of a Rey Mysterio, if not better. They just needed a chance to show what they got, and here at Lucha Underground, they gave them that shot, and I don't think they disappointed anybody. What do you think, Raul?
You say my middle name.
Sorry.
It's cool. That's something I don't never really do, but oh well, it's cool. Yes, my middle name is Raul. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it was great. I mean, I'm telling you, like I said in the show many times, it's great stuff, and you guys have a chance to expose more Lucha Libre, like what Tom was saying. Younger guys probably look at Rey Mysterio like the only luchador. Well, there's a chance that they could witness more luchadors, in around, and like you say, you don't have to wear a mask. You have to wear a mask to wear a be a luchador. You could do pretty much anything. You could you could look different. And like look at you. You're dressing all thuggish and stuff. I consider you're still a luchador. You know what I'm saying?
I know I am. I'm a luchador. 100%. 100%. I was trained in Lucha Libre, and I'm always going to be a luchador no matter what. They always call me a wrestler, and I'm like, no, I'm a luchador. So don't get it twisted.
Yeah, definitely. Don't get it twisted. You still have another question from Tom, or you want me to pass it back to me?
I'll pass it back to you. He answered it perfectly, and I think we're going to start getting a lot of eyes on Lucha Underground here.
Yeah, definitely. It will. A lot of eyes will have popped. Trust me, it will be, and hopefully it will succeed. My next question I want to ask you. Okay, it's Lucha Underground is debut Wednesdays. It's going to be pretty much on every Wednesdays, which is the same night as TNA. My question to you is, I'm not trying to make you bash TNA. Hopefully, I don't want to make you feel that way or anything. But with all these rumors with TNA going on, like possibly moving to another network, do you guys feel like you guys have a chance to possibly take over the Wednesday night slot over TNA because of all these rumors? Both they're gonna have a new, they're gonna switch networks, and possibly the new network they're going is there's not gonna be too much exposure in the United States, and possibly all the TNA fans to switch to Lucha Underground. Do you feel like you guys have that chance to, you can say, they take that advantage from the TNA fans?
I honestly think we can. I think we're going to. And, I don't want to sound all, arrogant and stuff like that, but, we're the shit, plain and simple.
Yeah.
The El Rey Network took a chance on us. We took a chance on them, and, they said, here's the ball, run with it, and we did. I think we scored more than one touchdown in this season. So, we're definitely, I think we're going to be up there. I think we're going to be able to compete with the other companies that are out there on TV now, and hopefully, succeed better than they're doing now.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to tell us, El Rey Network, thank you for making my Wednesday nights more exciting, because now I can watch Lucha Underground, and after it's over, I can just go flip it to Spike to watch TNA, see what's going on there. I'm sure you have friends over there in TNA, like, Madnick. I saw your guys' photos on your Instagram. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna be doing the next couple of weeks, and it's just sad to say that I'm hearing the network they might be moving to. I don't have that channel, so it's a good chance Lucha Underground will be my new Wednesday night. So I can't wait for it. So yeah, it's Wednesday night. Just can't wait. Mark your calendar down, people. All right, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I'm gonna move away actually from Lucha Underground and talk about something that you got going on this weekend. You got a match with B-Boy at AWS. Talk a little bit about that, and I know you talked a little bit about B-Boy earlier, so just talk about what's going on this weekend.
I think you're getting it twisted, Tom. I'm not wrestling B-Boy this weekend. I'm actually, I won't be at AWS this weekend.
Oh, you won't?
No, I'll be up as I'm going to Vendetta Pro.
Oh, well, I know you've been working with. I know you've been working with them a lot currently. Just talk about Vendetta Pro.
Yeah, well, I'm actually the Vendetta Pro heavyweight champion. So this weekend I'm defending my title against former WWE star Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so what is it going to be like for you to kind of just get in there with Ricardo?
Should be fun. I'm going to kick him in his face, punch him in the mouth.
Do you think that's because I've never heard of Vendetta Pro, to be honest. I'm over here on the East Coast. What's something about Vendetta Pro that should be worth going out of my way to check out?
They have a good group of guys. The roster, they all train together. Billy Blade, the promoter, trained all of the guys there, and they draw really good houses at their shows. They're based out of Santa Maria, California, and Vendetta brings in a lot of the top former WWE guys. They brought in Chris Masters, Chavo Guerrero, Matt Hardy, and stuff like that. So shows are great. This weekend shouldn't be it should be like no other. This is my first time wrestling against Ricardo, so it's definitely going to be a match to look out for. Definitely,
without a doubt. And I recommend anybody in that SoCal area or any California, make the trip down. You want to see Ricardo get his face kicked in by Lil Cholo.
That's a good one.
All right, Oscar. I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him about that Vendetta question. I was like, whoa, he ain't wrestling no B-boy. But
I've been watching
B-boy
too much Botchamania. I botch.
Yeah. If B-boy listens to the show, he's probably dying his ass off right now.
Botchamania right there.
Yeah, he's probably at a bar listening to this right now. So if you're listening, cheers to B-boy.
Yeah, cheers to B-boy. By the way, your partner. I'm gonna say he's your partner right now. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but yeah, your partner.
Just watch the show to see what happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to Vendetta. I know you're having your match with Ricardo out there. I'm surprised that you just said right now you never wrestled him before, even before his WWE days. I'm like, really? You guys never wrestled yet? That's kind of crazy. I know he's been around for a while. So my question I'd like to ask you, when you go in the ring with somebody that's probably been doing it for years, like Ricardo, and you guys never wrestled each other, maybe once, what kind of strategy you prepare yourself to go against an opponent like that?
I'm old school. I've always stuck to the old school style. I study their matches. I'm recently, like the past couple of weeks, I've been studying his matches to see what he does, and I've even seen up some recent matches that he had in Puerto Rico and stuff like that. And all I do is study to see what they do. Got to get my mind in the game, and I don't want to get my face kicked in. So just study. You just look at them and see what they do, and make sure I don't get my face kicked in.
Yeah, definitely. Hold on. Before I pass it back to you, I just wanted to say to our listeners, if you guys have any questions for Little Cholo, you always can call in at 760-454-1107 or just tweet us as Wrestlingheads. We're not going to have them on too long, so if I were you, if you got any questions, you better send them out now. All right, go ahead, Tom.
All right, my next question I have for you, this may be a difficult question. I've asked this before, but if you could pick out one moment that you've had in your career as a career-defining moment, what would you say it would be?
Career-defining moment. It's a tough one. Maybe one that sticks out the most would probably be wrestling at the ECW arena for CZW.
And you were in that CZW for too long. Talk about your time that you had there.
I was actually only there for one show. I did their Best of the Best tournament in 2003. It was great. It's actually the first time I ever hopped on a plane too to fly anywhere. So you might want to ask B-Boy about that story. But they called me Richie Valens on the way up there. You can just imagine why.
Oh man, damn, Richie Valens, wow.
Yeah, it was. I flew up there with B-Boy and the Messiah. To the tournament. And I guess I can say I was a little nervous about getting on the flight and stuff like that. And they always used to tell me, take an hour-long flight just so you get used to it and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, just get on this flight, it'll be no problem. Flight ended up being 5 hours direct to Philadelphia, and oh man, it was crazy. Definitely an experience.
Yeah, I feel you there. I know a lot of people don't know this, but I do get air sick. I start throwing up in the airplanes and shit like that. That's me. So I've been in airplanes a couple of times, and when I'm up there for a while, I start getting I start feeling woozy, and I start throwing up and shit. So every time I'm in an airplane, I always grab those bags on the chair. So I'll be like, all right, if I'm gonna throw up, I'm throwing up in the bag. I ain't throwing up in my clothes. Screw that, I've been having that problem since I was a kid.
I didn't get that bad, but I did have really, 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 really sweaty palms. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're nervous. I mean, I feel you there. I don't blame you, man. But it's not me like getting scared. Like, okay, the airplane's gonna fall down. I don't get nervous. Just that it's probably just illness wise for me. So, and
no.
There's a lot of people.
Fuck that. Fuck that. I was afraid that shit was gonna fall down. That was the first thing that was going through my head.
Hold on. Was this going on like right after the 9/11 stuff, that CCW thing?
I believe it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another thing that tripped me out.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna ask you one more final question before I let you go. My last question I want to ask: you've done a lot of things in your career. What is something that you would like to accomplish that you haven't accomplished? Like, is there a certain country you like to perform in, or WWE's in your mind, or what's something you like to accomplish?
Next week is my 16-year wrestling anniversary, which I'll be wrestling at Lucha Underground on October 29th and 30th. You know what? I've accomplished a lot. I'm happy with what I've done. I just wanted to be a wrestler. That's all I wanted. I was actually telling a coworker this the other day. God forbid, if I were to die tomorrow or whatever, I'm happy with what I've done. Just being able to go out there and do something that I love has been like the biggest accomplishment that's ever happened to me. So, if I can just keep on doing what I'm doing right now for, who knows, maybe another 20 years or so, that's all I could ask for.
All right, cool, definitely. Tom, you have a final question for him?
Yeah, my last question I got for you is if you could pick one guy that you wrestled any time throughout your career or currently, who do you think is one of the most underrated and underlooked guys that you've ever faced, or maybe that you know?
SoCal Crazy. Yeah, he's a guy out here from I think he's originally from San Diego. He lives out here in Orange County now. But definitely SoCal Crazy. He's definitely one of the most underrated wrestlers in California, in Southern California, period. He's got talent. He's got talent, and he's just, he's really overlooked, and I really hope he gets a chance one day. I know he had a dark match at Lucha Underground, and hopefully, he gets picked up, or he gets the opportunity to go somewhere else, to show what he's got.
Definitely, I'll definitely have to check him out. I'm sure Oscar can give me some matches of his, or help me check him out over here on the East Coast.
Or just watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. You can see him on there. He's part of the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood roster. Yeah, check him out. You can. Hold on, Cholo, before I let you go, we actually have one more question from Twitter. It's from our boy SmartCast. He wants me to ask you, why does the Lucha Libre style does not work in WWE? Because he feels like if WWE brings in like wrestlers that could do the Lucha style in the WWE, it'll be awesome. He just want to know why it doesn't work in the WWE.
Plain and simple, there's aside from the fact that you got Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio, there's no luchadors there. There's nobody that's influenced or that know authentic lucha libre. So, if you ain't, those guys ain't got no help. They can't do it all by themselves, and that's pretty much it. It's just, like I said, a lot of companies have tried to bring lucha libre in there and try to make it work, but it's just impossible. You check out Lucha Underground next week, you will definitely not be disappointed.
Yeah, definitely. To me, my opinion about that question about WWE, I feel like they're different. They're probably way different. What I'm saying is that I can say that they more focus on PG. They don't want like maybe they're afraid the kids will imitate their moves too much, and cause, you know, that's when everybody mostly watches WWE, and I guess they feel like they don't want to have more kids. They know how they play around and do wrestling moves and stuff. So if they do a crazy move like that move, I don't know the name of the move, but when Pentagon Jr. grabs you like almost like Kevin Steen's package power drive and he runs and slams your head, I don't think they don't want moves like that in the WWE. So it's a different environment, you can say, and I'm assuming that's why they don't want to put that style that much in that in their company. But I do like the guys they have, like Sin Cara and Kalisto. I like him too, his tag team partner in NXT. And I always like Rey Mysterio, so he's a cool dude. Yeah. All right, man. Before we let you go, do you like to leave out like any social media acts for our listeners?
Yeah. Check me out on Facebook on a Little Cholo. It might be changing pretty soon now to them changing the names on Facebook and stuff like that. But if that happens to change, just look around for me. I'm pretty sure you'll have me, Oscar. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram at little.cholo01, and that's pretty much it. Haven't got really too deep into the Twitter, but maybe down the road.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, people, if you want them back in PWG, start bugging the shit out of them. If you want to bring back Cholo back in there. And also, watch Lucha Underground on Wednesday. Trust me, it's going to be great stuff. I like what he's doing in Lucha Underground. Trust me. Watch what he's going to be doing in Lucha Underground. Remember, he goes by Cisco. So check it out.
That's Mr. Cisco.
All right, Mr. Cisco. All right, Mr. Cisco. And then, all right, well, like I said, thank you for being on, and hopefully you could come down again. You could do this again down the road, and maybe bring your crew on Lucha Underground. You know who I'm talking about. Beal and what's his name? I gotta get used to their new names. Ricky Ray's new name. What's his name? Castro Cortez. I gotta get used to new names. So. Yeah. So hopefully you guys could come down in the future, down the road, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. Thanks for having me, and thanks for all the support you guys give me. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Like I said, man, thanks for being on, dude, and I hope you come down again in the near future, all right? And you have a good night, man.
All right, you too.
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, good night.
All right.
Take care. All right, everybody. That was Little Cholo, a.k.a. Mr. Cisco. That was fun. He actually does that on the show, Tom, so Lucha Underground. So you can say he did that shit to me, Tom. Watch Lucha Underground. You can be like, remember we told you Mr. Cisco?
Yeah. Thanks for Little Cholo for being on here. You know, it was a good talk. You know, he definitely, you and Skits have already kind of sold me on Lucha Underground, but he definitely just, you know, sold the shit out of that company. I think for anybody who was not thinking about watching it, I mean, just praises all around from, you know, a very chill guy.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're gonna take a little commercial break, and we're gonna take a little commercial break, a short break actually, and we'll be doing our little Hell in a Cell prediction, and we'll be right back. Hold on, give me a second. This thing's fucking up here. All right.
This is Ring of Honor superstar Nigel McGuinness, and you are listening to Wrestlingheads Radio Show. So stay tuned, you wankers.
Yeah, you wankers. We're just back. I told you we're going to have a short commercial. Before we talk about Hell in a Cell this Sunday, we just got a little breaking news, you can say, from the NXT tapings. Number one, a past guest on Wrestlingheads Radio was in a match today on NXT. Mia Yim had a match with Charlotte on NXT tonight, which I'm happy for her. Like, she was a past guest on the show, and now she's in the WWE NXT. So even though I'm guessing she got squashed by Charlotte, I'm just happy for her to be on it. Tom, what's your thoughts of Mia Yim on NXT tonight?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I was surprised, but like you said, definitely happy for her. You know, even if she lost, you know, it's just more exposure. It's, you know, kind of getting the WWE an idea of who she is. And hopefully, you know, who knows, down the line she could get a full-time WWE contract and get in there and start kicking those divas' asses.
Do you want her to come to WWE? I mean, do you really want, like, you? Either?
I mean, I think it's a lot of wrestlers' dreams just to kind of, I mean, everybody's different. Some people never really wanted to go to the WWE, or some people rather would have worked in Japan than WWE. You know, everybody's different, but I think any opportunity to make, you know, a living off of doing this and make, you know, some money off of it, I think you kind of want to wish that on everyone. And I think it would bring her great success. So, sure, I wouldn't mind seeing her.
I mean, we had her a past guest on the show like a while back, so you guys can check out Blog Talk. We don't have her on YouTube, but check out our old episode on Blog Talk. We had her on way back, maybe about 2 years ago. So, yeah, check that out. Hold on, we got a caller on the line. I think I know who this is. 865 area code. You're live on Wrestlingheads Radio. Who's speaking?
You know it's SmartCast.
I knew it. I knew it was this.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, well, I just found my phone. I meant to call in and ask dude that question myself, and I couldn't find my phone. So I just now found it. Oh, well. Yeah, couldn't call in Monday either, but I was at halfway.
Hey, like I was saying to our listeners, man, if you want Cholo and PWG, get us, go fucking bug. Go bug PWG Twitter.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I mean, I couldn't even call in Monday either. I was at SYE getting the new Slipknot album at midnight. So I was like,
yeah.
I'm
a big Slipknot fan. I'm not going to her concert because, I got a little personal issue with my mom. She's having surgery and all that. Yeah, but you know what? I just found out about Slipknot. If you go on the website, you can actually watch a stream of Knotfest. So, you know, I probably will do that, you know.
Yeah, it's worth it, man. I've seen them twice live. They're pretty badass. So
I've seen them 5 times, and I saw them once for free.
They're a trip. Send them live, dude. Oh, I don't know. I was calling in to listen to the Hell in Cell predictions.
Yeah. But before we go there, there's one more thing I want to mention about the tonight's NXT tapings they did. It's no longer called just the NXT Takeover. It's going to be called NXT Takeover Evolution. I don't know why they named it to Evolution, but I was kind of getting sick and tired of the whole Takeover. Why not get different names? You know, I thought when they first started, like, with this Arrival, then Takeover, I thought they were going to do like the PWG names, like just put out names, you know, like Get Your Body Ready. Steam Wolf, you know, just names like that. You know, I thought NXT was kind of doing that same route, but it just seems like the last 2 shows was just called Takeover and Takeover. I was getting like a little tired of it.
Doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, so I'm asking this to Tom first. What do you think of that new title name for NXT Takeover?
I like it. I like the name. You know, as you said, I kind of would have liked it better if, if they did do kind of a singular name, not the Takeover thing. But I kind of see the direction they're going with, and I like it because, you know, first you had the regular Takeover, then, you know, you had the Fatal 4-Way, and now it's Evolution, and it's basically just talking about all the guys in NXT kind of just evolving and growing. So I think the name fits. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a hell of a show.
Yeah, definitely. Just can't wait. December 11th. That's gonna be the NXT Evolution or Takeover Evolution. Sparkcast, what do you think of that new name change, man?
To me, it doesn't make sense. I still dig it though, because I dig the Evolution. Because the first one was Takeover, so they took over, and then there was the Arrival, so they arrived. Now they're taking over again. Doesn't really make any sense, but I dig it because they added the Evolution thing. So now it's the takeover of the new breed, I guess. Finn Balor and Tommy have a match, so it could be takeover of the new breed.
Yeah, and this is for listeners that want to know. There is no mentions of Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen did not appear in the tapings. Hopefully in this next takeover show, hopefully he makes his debut. Or
he's going to debut at the next takeover show, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I
actually would have been disappointed if he would have debuted at an NXT taping, because you have him debut at that big show. It's a bigger feeling. It means more.
Yeah.
Well, they said they were going to delay his debut, so.
Yeah, and you know what? They should have him debut pretty soon. I mean, you know what I would like to do when they should start showing vignettes of Kevin Steen, like of something, and we can find out what his new name is, pretty much. If they do some kind of vignettes, then I'm cool with that. That leads to the debut of his debut.
I wouldn't. I would rather it be a surprise.
Yeah. All right.
Because we kind of had that for Tommy, because we kind of just wanted to be introduced to him. But I think with Kevin Steen, you need to have him be more of a surprise, make more of an impact, whatever his name may be. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out at when he debuts, or if he debuts at the special, maybe the next taping that's going to happen, we'll find out his new name or whatever.
So they'll probably just do it the same way they've been doing it to everyone else. Flash up their name that they are, Prince Devitt, and then just have the flash and then change it to what it's going to be. That's what they've been doing with everybody. And I mean, Kevin being the last guy in there, it makes sense, because I'm going to say arguably, he is arguably the most famous of the three that were signed. I'll say arguably because Devitt is up there with him. But I think Kevin Steen is just known more to an American audience. So debuting him last is probably the smartest thing.
And a Canadian audience as well. You know, I think.
Yeah, it is going to be in Canada, isn't it? It's supposed to be in Canada, right? Or is it going to be still in Florida?
And I feel like, you know, for the younger audience that might not know who Kevin Steen is, like the adult audience, it's much more easy to explain Kevin Steen. You know, you can just say, okay, he worked for another American company, he kicks ass, and, you know, he's this big, you know, he's just this big guy, as where Tommy and Finn Balor, a little bit more on the complicated side to kind of explain what they were doing and who they are.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of hoping his debut goes like his Ring of Honor debut, where he comes out there and he's not a bodybuilder. He's kind of fat, and people don't take him seriously, and then they see him in the ring, and they're like, oh, wait, no, this dude is serious. This dude's for real.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it goes exactly like that, just like in Ring of Honor. So,
yeah. And, you know, that NXT crowd is always loud as hell, especially when they have their live specials. So if he debuts at TakeOver Evolution, that crowd, I think, you know, Tommy and Finn Balor, when they both debuted, they got pretty big reactions. But I just think the biggest reaction, people are just going to go insane when he debuts.
Well, actually, I do have a question for you guys. Why do you think everyone is up in arms about them changing their names? I don't understand that at all. It's not like they're changing their character or changing the way they wrestle. They're just changing their name. I don't get that.
Well, because we've known them as this person for so long, and we've gotten used to them as that person. So when you change it, people do fear that, like, okay, they are going to change him. You know, you're changing somebody who we've known and we've cheered for, and, you know, we've bought their merchandise with that name on it for so many years, and now people are changing it. I think a lot of people overreact in that aspect.
Yeah.
You know, like you said,
definitely.
they're not changing who they are. And I remember seeing an interview with Sami Zayn, and he said that WWE, when he got there, that they don't try and change who you are. He said they try to make sure that you can work in that environment as best as possible. So if that does mean a name change, okay, sure, let's do that. But like I said, look at Sami Zayn. Is Sami Zayn that much different from an El Generico in the standpoint of who their character is? They're both lovable faces who go out there and fight and wrestle and, you know, just do the right thing. I mean, the main difference is one was under a mask, one isn't.
Yeah, well, think about it like this, though. This is where the mind fuck comes in. Name a top guy right now besides Randy Orton, because he started in WWE, that hasn't had a name change, including John Cena. John Cena was the prototype when he started. He was not John Cena.
Yeah. Well, CM Punk is the obvious.
Well, yeah, CM Punk, but that's you know, everybody talk about Daniel Bryan's changed, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. Everyone has had a name change.
Like I said, Daniel Bryan I think Daniel Bryan works so much better than Bryan Danielson. Yes, Bryan Danielson is a cool kick-ass name, but Daniel Bryan is so much easier to chant. I mean, when Daniel Bryan was getting over as hell and people were chanting Daniel Bryan, imagine if his name was Bryan Danielson. Like, it wouldn't have been as, you know,
fluent.
You could say unique, and, you know, it wouldn't have been as easy to chant for the crowd.
Yeah, it had to be in Bryan Danielson. That doesn't even sound right. It doesn't even sound right, man. It's 6 syllables. It's like Mick Foley said in his book. Whenever you come out and you have a name, you need an even amount of syllables, preferably 4, and 3 works as well. You have to have an even amount of syllables because they can chant it a lot easier. Yeah. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, because it seems like if you give them a name, they're trying to make it like a name that you can have in case you do work out, a name you can use that name for a fan could chant. You know, get you know how can you say it, like a flow for the crowd to chant. You know, an example when Chris Hero was Cassius Ohno, if Chris Hero was Cassius Ohno was doing well in the WWE. Oh no, chants kind of like, oh no, you know, like how in the PWG crowd there's hero, you know what I'm saying? So
not everyone is Eminem. Not everyone can take a word and make it flow perfectly. It doesn't work like that. You know, you got to have syllables. So, and I mean, I'm just saying, everyone's had a name change. I don't see how people can't just live with that.
I think this is only really happening within the last couple of years, because look at when Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were signed. I mean, I can't remember exactly, you know, what people were saying, but people weren't up in arms about it. And look at them now. People used to know them as Jon Moxley and Tyler Black, but now we call them just kind of by habit and force Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
And Seth Rollins was even Tyler Black in FCW. For the first year for the first 6 months of his FCW career, he went by Tyler Black. They didn't change it until 6 months into his FCW career. So it always happens, you know, and it makes sense.
As you said earlier, who cares what their name is as long as they're getting pushed? Like I said, I don't think people would have a problem. People don't have a problem with Seth Rollins being Seth Rollins. And look at Dean Ambrose. Those two guys, they have made changes, and they're in the main event right now. And, you know, they're two of the highly touted wrestlers right now in the whole WWE. So who cares what they do with their name as long as they get a good push.
He's still Jon Moxley. The only difference is he's a little less violent. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot less violent. Let's be honest, a lot less violent. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. It's he's still the best.
He violently abused a doll this past Monday, so you can say that. All right, a little off subject here. Let's give our little predictions for this Sunday's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Is going to happen, or you can watch it for $9.99 on the WWE Network. All right, this is the first match. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. You got Cesaro, the challenger, going against the champion, Dolph Ziggler. Who wins this one? Tom, who you got on this one?
This one's tough for me, especially now that they made it 2 out of 3 falls. I still think that Ziggler is going to somehow win. I think they're both going to get an even fall, and then at the end, Ziggler is going to come out to win. But I like that they did make it a 2 out of 3 falls match. I think that is going to make it a longer match, makes it a little bit more important, and these two can go out there, and I think they're going to have a hell of a match.
All right. Smartcast, what do you got?
Well, before I go, I've got to say that this card is one of the most unpredictable cards WWE has put on in a long time. There are 5 matches that can go either way. It's crazy. But for this one, I got to go with the current king of 2 out of 3 falls matches, Cesaro. I think the Intercontinental Hot Potato is going to continue. I think Cesaro's taking it.
Yeah, this is hard to predict. This is hard because I was listening to the JR's podcast yesterday, and they were saying what the fuck they're doing with Dolph Ziggler with the Intercontinental title. He's jobbing since he's been Intercontinental champion. Should the champion be doing all the winning? And in his opinion, he said Dolph Ziggler should be the one, getting all these wins. He should be going out beating Cesaro and all these guys, and even Randy Orton, but they're not doing it. To me, I feel like Ziggler needs this win, but I'm going to go with Cesaro on this one. I mean, I've been disappointed with the whole how they're treating Cesaro in championship matches. I mean, if he loses this match, I want to say this is his 14th consecutive championship match he lost in the WWE. So, okay, I'm going to give Cesaro on this one, because if Cesaro wins this match, it's a good chance that he can become a strong champion. You know what I'm saying? Like the champion that JR says that what WWE needs, a guy who has the Intercontinental champion, starts destroying opponents, and Cesaro could be that guy. Ziggler is not that guy. He gets that push. I mean, people love Ziggler, but they're just treating him like shit right now.
I think this one was, besides one of the, actually maybe besides both main events, this was the other toughest pick possibly to make, because I actually want Cesaro to win because of, like you said, and people were saying, with Brock Lesnar being out, you put the title on Cesaro and you kind of try and elevate that title. You have Cesaro come out there and say, Brock Lesnar's not here. This title means more than that title. This title is what people should be chasing, something like that. And I think that would be a smart idea, but, with WWE, how they book things, I can never tell.
Yeah. No, and with the title not being defended at all until probably January, that's just kind of unfair to Seth Rollins, because he can't cash in. What's he going to do, drive to Minnesota and wait till Brock's sleeping and cash in then? Like, that makes I hate that. I hate that Brock's not there.
I don't think Rollins even wanted to cash in against Lesnar. I think he was just intimidated. And, I said the longer that they put the Money in the Bank briefcase on him, the better.
I'm hoping till WrestleMania or
longer. Even in people's minds, but still kind of underlie it. So it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Oh, and he nailed that curb stomp on Brock too, and that was I haven't marked out in a long time, and when that happened, I marked out. I was like, oh man, that's it. That was awesome. So I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, next match, WWE Tag Team Championships. You got the challengers, Usos, or you can say Uso Crazy, going against the tag team champions, Goldust and Stardust. Tom, who you got on this one?
I got Goldust and Stardust. I think if they take the titles off of them and put them back on the Usos, what was the point? What was the point of even putting the titles on Goldust and Stardust? There would have been no sense in doing that. And, they haven't even been building up Goldust and Stardust as, credible champions. So I think just somehow Goldust and Stardust pull out a win.
All right. Smart Cat, who you got this one?
Goldust, Stardust. That one's easy. There's no way they're taking the titles off them. But I will say that, I know this is a match we've seen about 1 billion times, but, I can't really think of a time where they didn't deliver. These teams are really good together. So.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Goldust and Stardust will walk out. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something stupid like get themselves disqualified and Usos win by DQ. But either way, Usos ain't walking out with the tag team champs. I could see this going for one more match at Survivor Series, and that's when I think the Usos will get their tag team titles back. And then I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it might be going. The Ascension could be going after them after Survivor Series, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. But that's why I feel like
Ascension joining the Wyatts coming, and he said Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are set free.
I don't like that at all.
I don't think I could deal with that, dude. I don't think I could accept it.
I hope that rumor falls. I don't want Ascension and Bray Wyatt together. I don't want to see that shit.
No, I can't. I wouldn't be able to accept it. It would not work for me.
No.
It doesn't work because that's not the same kind of evil.
If the Ascension does, whenever they debut, they just become the Ascension. No allies, nothing. But I'd rather have another tag team instead of go straight to the Usos. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I hope I'm wrong with that prediction, but oh well.
Yeah.
All right. Next match for the WWE Divas Championship. You got the challenger Paige going against the champion AJ Lee. Tom, who you got this one?
I'm gonna go with AJ.
AJ Lee, you got AJ Lee.
I just think they're gonna keep building her up, and maybe they'll keep doing the flip-flopping back and forth for the Diva title between these two. But for some reason, I just see AJ taking this one.
Yeah. Smart Cat, who you got on this one?
AJ easily, and especially since Stephanie has come out and squashed the Total Divas rumor about Total Divas not allowed to hold titles, completely squashed it. She said that's 100% not true, and I believe they're going to build AJ up and eventually give it to Nikki, unfortunately. Yeah. Or Brie.
See, I don't know what to believe with that rumor. If it's true that anybody on the Total Divas cast cannot carry the the Divas title, then Paige is going to lose for sure. She, because I believe they're going to start taping this week for Total Divas, so there's no way it's going to happen. She just joined the cast too, so.
Look at it like this. Look at it like this. Starting next season, or next half season, there will be only Tamina, Emma, and AJ not on the show. What are they going to do? Give it to Emma and Tamina? Tamina hasn't been on TV in 3 months, and Emma, they ain't going to give her the title. Do what?
They might even bring in Charlotte in the main roster. We could probably see an AJ and Charlotte.
That'd be fine too. But I just don't see that happening until at least December. I don't think they would bring her up until she loses that title because it didn't work out well for Paige. She started off, and then that championship run sucked, and then she became a heel, and now she's becoming like super popular. So I mean, I don't think they should ever do that ever again. Never have an NXT title win a title on WWE.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. I agree with you. I like Paige, but I ain't like the way how she won the title the first time. But
she doesn't work as a face.
Huh? No.
She doesn't work as a face well. She's so good as a heel.
Yeah, I think she only worked as a face down in NXT was because of that crowd. I think the crowd down at Full Sail they kind of dictate who they want to cheer and boo. You know, it's not, and it's a very small crowd.
They're Chicago.
It's not like 15,000 people.
Yeah. They're Chicago.
Oh.
They're a smaller Chicago crowd. I've been in that crowd. They are insane. But, I mean, and I'm actually kind of disappointed with Paige in joining Total Divas. I mean, why would you want to join that fake scripted crap? It's awful, man. The good thing about that, the only good thing on that show is Jey Uso.
This Monday about how they have ruined Paige so far. You know, she came in, and even in NXT, even when she was a face down in NXT, she was still the anti-diva. She hated everything that there was to hate about the divas on the main roster. She wasn't like them. She was a wrestler through and through. You know, she didn't look like a typical diva, and that's what made her awesome. And then they bring her on the main roster, and then they make her act like a typical diva.
No,
it's just then they make her join the show, and it's just that's why I get worried for like the divas on an NXT like Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha Banks, because they could easily fall into the same trap where they're just ruined.
Yeah, I mean, and the best thing about Total Divas is Jimmy Uso. He's like the funniest person on the planet on that show. Every time he's on it, he says something and it cracks me up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
My wife watches it.
I haven't. The only time I watched Total Divas was actually this week for like 5 minutes. But other than that, I don't think I've caught something since the first season.
You're lucky. You are lucky, man.
You know, it's funny. Smartcast mentioned Charlotte, and it's funny. Listen to JR's podcast, and he was like, I don't want to see. Actually, he had Mark Madden as guest. Mark Madden said, I hope she doesn't join Total Divas. And I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way they're going to have Charlotte and Total Divas, and this is the reason why. Her husband, Bram, TNA star. Mm-hmm. There's no way they're going to fucking film those two guys together while Bram is in, under contract with TNA. No way it's going to happen. There's no point in having Charlotte unless TNA releases him and they re-sign him. That's the only way I can see it happen. So
well, I mean, but with Charlotte though, this is something I noticed with Charlotte. Do you remember when she first came into NXT and she sucked? And then it was like one month she was awesome. Like, it took her 1 month and she was amazing. I was like, who evolves that quickly? A Flair, that's who evolves that quickly. Like, dude, she's so impressive now.
Yeah, when I first saw her, I was like, okay, she doesn't even look that great. But all of a sudden, bam. Okay, now she looks good.
I mean, you could argue she's the best. You could argue that she's the best diva right now in WWE.
I think that goes to Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah.
And, so we'll see what happens with Charlotte, Total Divas, Paige. I didn't make my pick, but I want Paige to win, but I think I'm going to go with AJ Lee on this one. All right. Next match. All right. You got the Ravishing Russian Rusev with Lana on the side. Yes. Going against representing the United States. He was known as the Giant at one point. And it's the Big Show. Tom, what do you got on this one?
Rusev, no question. No doubt about it.
All right. Smartcast, what do you got on this one?
Nothing more to say. Rusev from Machka. Rusev's going to get it. Easy.
Yeah, I don't want to say easy, but I'm going to go Rusev, all because Mark Henry cost Big Show the match. And you're going to see a Mark Henry Big Show feud again.
Yeah.
That's what's going to
You can read that one in my blog on Wrestlingheads.com. That's exactly how I said it was going to end.
That's
great minds.
That's how I got it. That's how I got it, because of you. It's your blog.
No, that's great minds. That's great minds, my friend. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, great. Nice. All right. Next match for the WWE United States Championship. You got the challenger, Mr. Hollywood star himself, that has a stunt devil named Damien Mizdow. And that movie star I'm talking about is The Miz going against the champion, Sheamus. Tom, what you got on this one?
I'm actually going to go with somebody who's technically not in the match. I think Damien Mizdow wins the title. I think, close to the end of the match, or, getting toward the end of the match, the Miz rolls out of the ring and tags in his stunt double, and Mizdow rolls up Sheamus and wins the United States title. I think that would jumpstart a feud between Mizdow and Miz. This is what I thought could happen. I'm gonna still stick by that. But if that does not happen, then I think Sheamus wins. But there gets to be some tension between Miz and Mizdow somehow.
All right, interesting there. Interesting. Smartcast, what you got on this one?
Tom is extremely close to what I said. The only difference was that Mizdow doesn't win the championship. I said that he would pin Sheamus, but the ref and the brass wouldn't know what to do. They're like, well, who won it? So we get a triple threat match at the next pay-per-view, and that's where it changes hands to either Miz or Sandow. I don't know which. Probably Sandow, so we can start a feud.
All right.
So
well, my prediction...
technically Sandow wins it.
Well, my prediction is kind of almost like what you guys say, but I'm going to go with Sheamus on this one, and here's why. I believe Sandow will accidentally cost the Miz the match, and you can see some conflict between the two. Maybe you can see a little rivalry between the two. But the reason why I'm picking Sheamus is because I feel like he's going to go after Rusev next, and Rusev is going to take that U.S. title from Sheamus. So Rusev could piss off more Americans. So
would love to see that.
Yeah.
Would love to see that. That would be perfect.
I was thinking that, and that was going through my mind. But I just thought that at that moment, if Mizdow, imagine if he pins. Somebody brought this up online. If Mizdow pins Sheamus for the U.S. title, that crowd would go insane. I mean, I'm talking a major pop. They would love that. And you know what you could do is you have Mizdow win the title on Sunday, but then maybe on the next night on Raw you have the Miz, you do like a rematch between Sheamus and Mizdow, and then the Miz costs Damien Sandow the title there. That way the title goes back to Sheamus, and you can do Sheamus versus Rusev, and you can also start the feud between Mizdow and the Miz.
Man, I'll say this, dude. If you would have told me about a year ago that the Miz would be causing Damien Sandow to be one of the most crowd popular people, I would have slapped you in the face. I would never believed you.
If you would have told me 6 months ago when Damien Sandow was nowhere, and if you would have told me that Damien Sandow is going to start impersonating the Miz and it's going to be one of the best things on TV, I would have slapped you then. I would have said, are you crazy? WWE would never do something like that.
This is all Sandow, dude. WWE has nothing to do with this. Sandow was like, just let me do this. And then they did it, and it's the most popular thing. Ugh. Sandow's a man, though, dude. He has always been just one of the most underrated stars they've had on that roster, period.
Yeah. That's some funny shit about slapping each other's faces. It's all good. All right, next match. Maybe you guys be slapping yourself in the face for watching this match, but you got
I know what it is.
You got Brie Bella going against his sister, Bella. I guess the loser of this match will have to be the winner's personal assistant for a month. And if the loser decides not to do it, that person will be forced to quit WWE. So, Tom, what you got on this one?
Sorry.
Can I say that they both come to a draw and then they both get fired? No.
Yes, please.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. But in all seriousness, I think Nikki wins this, and the roles are kind of reversed. You know, where Brie quit and all the bad stuff was happening to Nikki, but now Nikki wins this, and she starts putting Brie in 3-on-1 handicap matches and tries to force her to quit, but Brie just keeps going and going and going. So I think Nikki takes this, and I don't think it's going to be. I've seen people saying that this is going to be the worst Divas match ever. I don't think so. I think, you know, Brie and Nikki are terrible on the mic. They're terrible at promos, but in ring wise, they're both pretty okay. You know, I think Nikki's a little bit better than Brie, as much as that pains me to say anything really positive about the Bellas. Nikki definitely has improved a little bit. She has a couple of good power moves that she can pull off. So I think Nikki wins this.
All right. Smartcast, who you got in this one?
Oh, I can't believe I'm actually giving an analysis on this match. Okay, the word you're looking for there, Tom, is passable. They are passable in the ring. They are not horrible. They are not great. They are passable. But Nikki wins it and then tortures Brie forever just to give a little sympathy cheers. Not going to work. People are still not going to give a crap. This is going to lead to Survivor Series, where we're going to have a traditional Survivor Series match with Team Nikki and Team Brie, where Brie is going to get her ultimate revenge, hopefully ending this horrible, horrible feud.
Man, I said it before SummerSlam. This is going to be a terrible feud, and look where it's going. WWE, listen to me, motherfuckers. But anyways, I'm going with Nikki on this one, but it's sort of like what you're saying, Smartcast, but I actually think this might lead to a Divas match, Divas title match between Nikki and AJ. I could see Nikki torturing Brie for a month and try to make her quit, like, you know, come on, you quitter, quit. And
I'm
all
quitting,
this stuff,
bitch.
Yeah, and all this shit, it seems like it's leading to Nikki to win this match because, you know, they put her on the handicap matches and all that shit, and Brie actually wins these matches, which Nikki couldn't do at first. So Nikki's gonna win, have Brie become her assistant, torture her for a whole month, and then Nikki will get her Divas title match at Survivor Series. Brie will cost Nikki the title match, and AJ will still retain that title. And hopefully this feud will end right there, and hopefully we don't see no Bella versus Bella 2 at TLC. Brie Bella is not Jay Briscoe. She is not allowed to pepper the word bitch in everywhere. Only Jay Briscoe can do that because only he can make it sound good. Brie does it, and she uses it in wrong places. She's like, yeah, I went to the bitch store, bitch. Stop saying the word bitch. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't sound right.
No, you're getting it wrong. She puts so much emphasis on it. She's like, you're such a bitch.
Yeah, and she pauses like 3 seconds before she says it.
She sounds like a bitch. She sounds like a fucking
bitch. It's like, oh, jeez, my
like
ears
a fucking middle school. She sounds like a fucking middle school girl saying the word bitch, you know?
She does, yeah. Jay Briscoe nails the word bitch. No one says the word bitch like Jay Briscoe. Dude is a mac at saying that word.
Yeah.
Man, you pumpkin-headed bitch.
Right?
Dude, I love that. I love that. You pumpkin-headed bitch. Love it. Dude is the man.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, then. All right. The match, which I believe should have been the main event, but it's not going to be the main event. But it's a Hell in a Cell match. You got Dean Ambrose going against Seth Rollins. Tom, who you got in this one?
This was my toughest pick because it could go either way with this. You could have Dean Ambrose getting his ultimate revenge, or you could have Seth Rollins somehow squeezing out a win and keep his momentum going. Man, I think just for the sake of kind of bringing the storyline to a close for now, I think Dean Ambrose wins and gets his revenge.
All right. Smart Cat, who you got in this one?
Pretty much my prediction is I don't care who wins because this match is awesome. It doesn't matter who wins. We all win. The fans win. But for the sake of analysis, I got to go with Dean Ambrose because I think I'm going to go on a limb and say Dean Ambrose wins it and then leaves Rollins laying, and Randy Orton runs in, RKO's Rollins. A little bit of revenge. And we start a Rollins-Orton feud leading into the next one, leading into the next prediction. But we get a little Rollins-Orton feud going and let Dean move on to I don't know what. I really don't know where he goes from here. But
yeah.
I just predict it's going to be
match of the night. Where each of these guys go in their next feud. They're both just awesome in the roles that they're playing.
Yeah.
And
like
you said, the match is going to be awesome either way because both of these guys are batshit crazy. They will try to do anything and everything to make that the match of the night. I don't think they're going to be tossed off the cell like Mick Foley.
No.
I don't think that far. But they're going to, Dean Ambrose said in an interview that he wants to do something that's never been seen in Hell in a Cell before. And like I said, both of these guys are young and they're hungry and they want to make an impression and they want to leave their marks already early. So, and especially, I think what gave me the clue that it was going to be a little bit crazier than maybe I thought it was going to be is when they brought out Mick Foley, because I kind of gave you the idea of how, insane that these two just want to beat the crap out of each other. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this is the first match. Well, I mean, I was looking forward to seeing a Lesnar at SummerSlam just to see Lesnar destroy Cena, which he did. But this match and this feud is just it's really one of the only bright spots in WWE right now on the main roster.
Bonkers. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're gonna see something insane, like maybe someone fall halfway off the cage or something like that. But I thought Mick Foley did a perfect job. Yeah, I thought Mick Foley did a perfect job in his promo because he was not there. People don't understand. He wasn't there to sell Ambrose versus Rollins. He was there to sell the sell. He was there to sell the match, to sell how horrible and such a nightmare this match is, because Rollins and Ambrose have been doing a fine job selling themselves. And then he comes in, he's like, yeah, this match is going to be great, but it's in that. And that is where the danger happens. This is the danger zone. And these two warriors are about to enter it. And I thought he did a perfect job. He was the perfect man to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. As for me, well, this match is not going to top Mick Foley and Undertaker's match. No way in hell. Even with this era going on, no way in hell.
No way in hell in a cell.
Yeah.
No way in hell in a cell.
Yeah, no way in hell in a cell. And there's no way Dean Ambrose is going to be using that saw during this match.
Or the cheese grater. He brought out a cheese grater. What? I haven't seen that since CZW.
Yeah, remember when Dean Ambrose used to carry weed whackers? That ain't gonna happen either. Now that would be
dude,
hell
was
in
a
the
nut
cell
job,
for
dude.
Sure. That would be hell in the cell for sure.
Yeah, dude. I think, and you know what? I think Rollins, if they were allowed to do that in WWE, Rollins would be up for it. Rollins would do it, just to get the crowd on their feet.
Yeah, and like I said, these guys are just insane. You know, Seth Rollins doesn't even need to be like in a street fighter, hardcore type match. Whenever you just see him wrestling, he's taking these crazy bumps, and he's almost getting impaled by cages and all that stuff. And you're like, Jesus Christ, this guy is going to get himself injured. And somebody made the perfect point. They're like, well, I want this to be a crazy match, and I want there to be some awesome spots, but I don't want either guy to get injured. We have too many guys out with injuries, so it's like, you know, go out there and have a, you know, kick-ass match, but take it a little easy because we can't lose either one of you.
Yeah. Well, let's go back in time and to CZW, and let's take Candice LeRae with us and do a Candice LeRae versus Jon Moxley in just a death match. I think I'd want to see that. I don't know why.
Man. All these kids want to see that. Anyways, I am going to go with Dean Ambrose on this one. I know you guys are saying what's next with Dean Ambrose. And the way I think something stupid's going to happen, this is going to be leading to look, if Brock Lesnar's not coming in Survivor Series, well, the main event is going to be a traditional match involving him and Cena, and Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. And I agree, Randy Orton is going to cost Seth Rollins this match somehow, some way.
Oh, I don't think he's going to cause him the match. I think he's just going to come in at the end and blast him with an RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely. All right. The main event, you can say, for the fucking 100th time, you can say, that Randy Orton can be going against John Cena in a Hell in a Cell match. They're 100 meeting, I guess, but not in a Hell in a Cell match. You can say they're second meeting in a Hell in a Cell match. Tom, who you got on this one? Oh, yeah, before you predict that, I got to remind our listeners that match, the winner gets a shot against Brock Lesnar's WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, Tom, what you got on this one?
Yeah, and, you know, going back to before you said Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose should be the main event, and I agree but kind of disagree in the sense that this is a number one contenders match for the title at some point. That should always kind of close the show if there is no title match. So I can see why they would put Cena Orton on last, even though it's not right. But I can see from a WWE standpoint of view why they're doing it. This one was a little tough for me because I want Orton to win just to see an Orton-Lesnar match, something new and something refreshing, and would be a hell of a match. I'm gonna go with Orton. I think somehow he picks up the victory. If there's anybody besides Brock Lesnar who can go over Cena clean, it's Randy Orton. So I think he picks up the victory here.
Interesting. Marquez, you got on this one?
This one, I always have one bold prediction that's probably not going to happen, but I always do it once per pay-per-view, and this one's it. Orton. I think Orton takes it. No problem. It's just I think that WWE does hear us and does hear that we don't want to see John Cena and Lesnar again. And I also think that Orton and Cena hear us, and I think we're going to be surprised at this match. I think we're going to get a good match. I really do. I think they're going to pull out all the stops for this one. But I think Orton takes it, and since Lesnar's not going to show up until January, they have to have a feud to take up the time, and that's where the Rollins things come in. And I think we're going to get Orton and Rollins until Royal Rumble. So, and I don't know if I hope to God Orton takes the title off Lesnar though, because I don't like this waiting 3 months to see a title match thing. I mean, what are they going to do for November and December you can't have another number one contendership because we have a number one contender. So I don't know what WWE was thinking in letting him not defend for 3 months. Makes no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I'm gonna go with Cena on this one. I see another Cena Lesnar match down the road. But I can tell you this: Survivor Series is gonna end with a transitional Survivor Series match for sure at the main event. It would be nice to do like old school, like every match is a freaking traditional Survivor Series match. It'd be cool to do it that way. I'd be happy. But I doubt they'll do it. TLC, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I don't know. That's gonna be another interesting thing that's gonna happen.
They could do Authority versus whoever. I mean, you could do Kane, Seth Rollins, and find some other people to join the Authority, and I think that would make for something intriguing at least. Put Orton on the other side, and then have him have to team up with Dean Ambrose and Cena, and that could make for something. I mean, it could bring some intrigue to the match. You know, turn on the Authority.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our WWE Hell in a Cell predictions. It's on pay-per-view this weekend. You can watch it at $9.99 on the WWE Network, or you can watch it at pay-per-view for like maybe $54.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive. All right, we're gonna take one more commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some news of what's going on in independent wrestling before we go off the air. We'll be right back.
Four Corners Radio is the home for the best professional wrestling and independent wrestling. Discussions and coverage. Billy, Ant, Martin, and Sam bring you three of the best podcasts every week. The Four Corners Raw Roundtable, the Indie Project, and the Saturday Freestyle. Along with the podcast, FourCornersWrestling.com is designed with all wrestling fans in mind. Feature articles, videos, the weekly shows, and much more. Four Corners and Wrestlingheads are teaming up to bring you wrestling's next revolution. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready. Interesting. Oh, yeah, and shout out to Skits, by the way. He's over there doing the Kings game. The Kings just won again, hopefully for another repeat. I don't think the New York Rangers want to return to the Stanley Cup. AIW. Got some interesting cards coming up for the November 28th show, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I know Monday we announced EC3 from TNA going against Johnny Gargano over there. And now, it's also been announced that TNA's own Rockstar Spud will be going against Marion Fontaine. That's going to be interesting right there. And Alex Shelley will be going against, I always cannot pronounce his freaking last name, but Josh, I can't always pronounce his last name, but I guess you guys know what I'm talking about. Alex Shelley will be at AIW. It's very interesting, bringing more TNA names to AIW. I don't know, what do you guys think of this card so far?
Sounds pretty killer.
I'm like first off that AIW is bringing in these names. Hopefully, they can draw a good crowd there. You know, AIW, of course, has been going through some tough times with Turner Hall, closing down and stuff, and they've been trying to save that. So it's good to see that they're bringing in some big names to hopefully help them out. But I like these matchups. I like seeing Alex Shelley, in any one-on-one matchups in the States here. Guy is a great talent. And, bringing in a guy like EC3 who can, bring in tons of heat. And the guy's, good wrestler as well. So I like that. And, of course, tons of people like Rockstar Spud. Guy has a ton of charisma. Is a great talent over there in TNA, so I'm liking what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the name that sticks out to me is EC3. That dude has always been, like, a weird enigma for me because he, for some reason, was released from WWE, which makes absolutely no sense at all because he was pretty awesome even in the developmental. And then he goes over to TNA, and he's actually been killing it. He's actually really great, and I'm sure WWE's shooting themselves in the foot, or laughing at themselves or shooting themselves in the foot. And then Alex Shelley, of course, sticks out as a fan of independent wrestling and in JPW. Gotta love everything that he does. I don't know, it sounds pretty killer. It sounds like something I need to check out if it's ever on my side of the earth.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's so far announced for AIW. That's you always bring in great names in AIW, but lately you've been bringing some TNA names. That's pretty cool. Speaking about Alex Shelley, he's also going to be returning to AAW. And you know what's funny that Chris Sabin is also booking that show, and there's no word yet will we see a Motor City Machine Gun reunion. But just imagine that shit. That would be freaking awesome to see a Motor City Machine Gun reunion in AAW. I'm sure guys like Tom would like to see a Motor City Machine Gun reunion.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I know those guys are booking the same show. Also, a match has been announced on the House of Hardcore November 15th show. The Chosen One, the Evolved Champion, Drew Galloway, is going against former TNA champion, the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries, at House of Hardcore in Philadelphia in the old ECW arena. That's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to look at House of Hardcore next month. Once this match, another reason I want to see how that old ECW crowd reacts to EC3 when he comes out. I mean, I want to see what the hell they're going to chant at him, what the hell they're going to do to EC3 out there.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking
fun. They're gonna give him a taste of what Philly in ECW days were like. Hopefully.
I want to see remember when Randy Orton came in the fucking Hammerstein Ballroom? I want to see something like that for EC3.
Yeah.
They ripped the shit out of him. That's like they did to Randy Orton. I want to see them rip the shit out of fucking EC3. Yeah.
You better that.
Yeah. All right.
Drew Galloway.
Why you prefer McIntyre?
No, I prefer Drew Galloway because I was a huge fan of his before WWE because before he got to WWE, he had a lot of freedom to do whatever he wanted to do, be whatever he wanted to be, and then WWE got him and they neutered him. There's no better word than neutering. They neutered his character, and I counted the days for his release so he could go back to Scotland. And he was just, dude was just so impressed. He just recently tweeted a picture of him and Sheamus together, and it just made me sad to see that what WWE missed the boat on by putting those two together. And it makes me sad every time I hear the name Drew Galloway because I remember what he was and what he is now. Because he's back to that former style. He's awesome again, and it just makes me sad whenever I hear the name Galloway now. I don't know why. Just remembering all those wasted years in WWE, like that was wasted on him. He could have been something special, and they just let it go. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So another news I should break out. Wrestlingheads has announced a match, a triple threat match. It will be Sanjay Dutt going against Carlito and the Pope, D'Angelo Di Nero. I haven't heard this guy for a while, so that's going to happen in WrestleCade in Charlotte, or you could say the Carolina area. And question for you guys: did you guys watch CW over the weekend?
Watch what?
You guys watched CCW over the weekend?
My internet crapped out on me, and I got to catch the last part of it. So I never got to see the beginning.
I didn't see much of Tangled Web. I saw a little bit of the beginning of it, but I still haven't been able to catch the rest of the show.
Yeah, because
we got normal knowledge.
Yeah, so I guess you guys should know that we have a new CCW champion, which I'm not happy about. Suzio's a new CCW champion. I'm like, what the fuck, really? I mean, I don't know what you guys could react to that, but I don't know. I don't get it. Why is Suzio's your new CCW champion? I'm not a big fan of him. I'm like, that's kind of a head-scratcher there for me.
Maybe a segue or a bridge to someone else, maybe. I mean, it is a weird choice, but CZW is kind of a weird company. They're a very, very odd company. Put on great matches, though.
Yeah.
Don't they have like a no rope barbed wire death match coming up?
Yeah, Biff Busick is going to be in it. So I can't remember the last time CZW had one of those type of matches.
Oh, those things make me cringe. They do,
Holy
man.
shit.
I mean, I'm usually up for it. I watch all kinds of horror movies. As soon as the barbed wire ropes come out, somebody gets thrown into them, and you hear that, and you're like, oh, God. Yeah, no.
Yeah, since we're coming to the close of the show, and we haven't gotten to talk about this for a little bit, speaking of Biff Busick, at the next PWG show, he's going to be in the meatiest four-way in wrestling history as he goes against Brian Cage, Uha Nation, and Tommaso Ciampa, and also on the same card that was announced, Matt Sydal and Chris Sabin taking on the Young Bucks. What do you guys think of those matchups?
That's going to be great. Okay, to be honest with you, I want to go to PWG. I'm trying to see how to get there, but fuck, man, it's going to be hard for me to get to PWG. I mean, I know I live in the area, but it's going to be tough for me. But I am trying my best to go in this next show, and probably I'll get to see Ronda Rousey again. It's going to be great, dude.
She's a cool chick.
Yeah, she's a cool chick.
She is. She's awesome. I only got to meet her once, but she was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that four-way, somebody said when that four-way is over, somebody in that match is going to be dead.
Ha, ha, ha. That's funny. That is
right.
Fun. All right. Well, we're going to end this show right now. I would like to thank Little Cholo again for joining us earlier today. It was a cool interview to have him on. Hope we get him on in the future. Maybe bring his crew. When you watch Lucha Underground, you know what I'll be talking about. Watch Lucha Underground this Wednesday at El Rey Network. Trust me, it's great stuff. I was in the tapings. Trust me, it's going to be great. But it's time to give out the plugs. I'm just going to do this real quick. Follow me at Sinister632 on Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow Tom at 2tweetme on Twitter. And you can follow Smartcast here at Smartcast. And I guess until Monday after Raw, we'll be back reviewing Raw and Hell in a Cell. And hopefully we'll get some future guests in the near future. And until Monday, we are out, bitches.